You like started that trend.
I did no, I didn't.
Yes, you
This is the
did.
thing. People say I'm the pointing guy. Literally, I'd see every single one. I'd come home, put in YouTube. Yeah, watch it.
So there's no TikTok
There's
in
no
India.
TikTok in India, so they use Instagram Reels to basically get the same content. I could do a French accent.
Oh, oui, oui.
Je m'appelle Joseph.
Oh, je m'appelle Joseph. Well, welcome to the show, Joseph.
Nice to be here. Nice to be here.
And-
What's the show's name? You haven't actually told me.
I've actually been thinking about what to call it because this is your first the first podcast you've done.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is sort of my first podcast I've sort of had, so to say. I was thinking...
So we're both losing our podcast virginity here.
We are. The thing was I wanted to do a podcast.
Okay.
And then I sort of got a podcast. And I didn't know what to call the podcast. I was thinking the Martin Thompson podcast.
Yeah.
That...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's about as much as, I mean...
What would you think? Like, because you like My Hero and anime.
What, you want an anime name for you?
Anime.
You want like a...
Yes.
Oh, you want it out there? Okay. I don't really know what I'd call you. You don't really give me like anime character vibes.
Sort of...
Well,
sort of
Japanese. You're not really Japanese.
No. No, okay. okay, so Japanese vibes. Okay, I like that, Joe. And being your first podcast you've done, what did you kind of research how to podcast guests? Or?
Oh, no.
No?
I didn't do any... No, this is all me.
This is all you. Okay.
I'm showing the real me here.
This is real you. Because what does really real Joe do? You do TikTok?
Yeah, I like to record myself in my room when I'm bored. That's how it started, actually. It was because I started during COVID, and obviously everyone was lonely during COVID.
Yes.
So posting videos at home, like you had so much free time.
Okay.
So I started it.
Did you have like school or university or?
At the time I was in college.
College.
But especially 2020, that was because it started like in the middle of the year. They had no idea what they were doing.
Oh, okay.
So I pretty much, I had work, but I didn't because I didn't want to do it.
And that was schoolwork you were meant to be?
Yeah, that was like, I was first year at college, so it was just like the simple maths and physics.
Okay, simple maths and physics.
There is no simple maths and physics.
That's it. And is that where you got the inspiration for your name from?
Hertz.
Hertz.
I see, the names, I always visioned it as Hertz Joe.
Hertz Joe.
But I think Americans are just like the capital letter HZ.
HZ.
But yeah, it was kind of like, it's actually a boring story. I needed at least 4 letters to do my name.
Okay.
So I wanted Joe in it.
Yes.
So I was like trying combinations, and I was doing physics at the time, so I was like, oh, Hertz. I like frequency.
Are you like, oh, okay, yes. And the 03 on the end of your...
03 is just because my name was taken, and it's just the end of... Well, actually, 3 is a very good number for me because...
Why is 3 a good number for you, Joe?
Born in 2003.
2003 you were born.
I was predicted for the 3rd of the 3rd of the 3rd. So I just love that number. It's a good prime number as well.
Yes, 3... What makes 3 a prime?
Not divisible by anything other than itself and 1.
I like that. Yes, it's a good number. Yes, okay, it's a good number. So that was how the content creation side of things you created. 8Z Joe because you needed more than 4 letters.
Yeah, at the time it was
username.
for Twitch. I was doing a lot of like streaming to like just my friends really.
Yes, and what's Twitch? Is that like your live streaming a game or a video game?
It's like how TikTok is for short form content and how YouTube is for long form content, but for live streaming.
Okay.
So it's a pure live streaming platform mainly for video games.
I understand. And what sort of video games were you playing on Twitch?
It was pretty much like Fortnite.
Fortnite?
It was mainly Fortnite. You love Fortnite, don't you?
I love Fortnite.
You played it
I
for the
think I
first time
played it
the other
like
day.
3 times in my entire life. Now, sort of kind of explain the premise of Fortnite because I couldn't quite work it out. Like the map shrinks.
Yeah, so like it's called the Storm.
The Storm?
The Storm shrinks over the map.
Okay. So that it's like
to like confine all the players, to shorten them out, less
Okay.
players until there's last one standing.
okay, and the last one standing wins.
Yeah, they get the victory royale. As
Victory
they say.
royale. Oh, so a victory royale is when someone wins the Fortnite.
Yeah, that's what the like meme is.
Oh,
It's all clicking now, isn't it?
It is. It's sort of like making. It's like it's almost like Minecraft. It's like all those blocks are
Yeah,
fitting in
yeah,
place,
yeah.
but this is not Minecraft. It's Fortnite.
Which are similar in a way, because both of them you build structures. There's a lot of comparisons online.
yes,
And they're actually no, Minecraft's not free. I was going to say they're both free, but they're not.
no, they're not. But Fortnite's free.
Fortnite's free.
Okay, I like that. And so you started off with the social media of making videos in your room, and does it link into Fortnite at all, or with the Twitch?
Well, I've always wanted to be more of a video game based creator. I think growing up, like I'd do like Minecraft videos on YouTube, like everyone pretty much has.
Yes.
And then I watched a lot of Twitch streamers, so then I kind of wanted to do that as well.
Yes.
And what I do now with the film stuff was kind of just like brought to me because it like did well.
Okay.
So it was literally just like a random chance. I posted a video about a Marvel movie and it blew up. So I was like, oh, maybe I could do more of this.
Oh, maybe you could do more of Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
I see.
that's when it went and skyrocketed.
And when you say skyrocketed, what was sort of like your following base before that?
So
and
I
kind of after.
I mean, I got TikTok when it first came out all the way back in like 2018. And then for like
Yes.
3 years, the most followers I had was like 1,000.
Oh, wow. So for 3 years, it was
It was just 1,000.
Just 1,000.
But then it was 2021
yes.
August. This is actually a good story actually because it's like well timed. I hit 10,000 followers in I think it was like August 20th of 2021.
Yes.
That's a lie. That's 2021.
2021 was 2 years
Year after
ago.
COVID.
I can't remember when COVID was.
2020.
2020. Okay. Yes.
So August 20th, I hit 10,000 followers.
August 20. You hit 10,000.
And that was the same day I was getting my results from college.
Okay.
And finding out what uni I was going to be in.
Yes.
So that like I got 10,000 followers in the morning, which also means you can get in the creator fund. So I would start getting paid from it as well.
So that would be is that how it works? As soon as you get 10,000 followers,
Then you can enter the creator fund, which pays like it's like £1 for every 50,000 views. So at the time, I wouldn't have been making that much money, but it was like for me, it was like an achievement.
yes, it was like a goal you'd set yourself.
Yeah, and so because same day as my results, after finding out I was in the fund, I went to get my results.
The same day.
Yeah.
Yes, Christ.
And I was in the line, and everyone was like, "Oh, let's not check out the UCAS website. Let's just get our results, find out what uni we're in that way." And I was like, "No, I'm checking." Checked it, and it was like, "You are now in Hull Uni," and like that was like my fifth choice.
That was your fifth.
Yeah, I'd chosen like I'd applied
Oxford,
for
Cambridge.
It was like Durham, Oxford.
Oxford. Yes.
St Andrews, and then another one. So that was
Yes.
like my if everything fails, go there. So I was like crap in that line. But to me, that's kind of like a turning point.
Yes. Yeah, that's
Because
an interesting.
The way I'd envisioned my future was just like doing my degree and then with doing whatever with that and getting a job.
I see.
But the switch up of like now not being with my friends and not really wanting to do uni and not going to a uni that I want to be in, but being on the creative fund and TikTok kind of growing at the time, I was like,
you've not got a degree, but you're being paid to do something you actually.
yeah,
Yes.
it was like, that was like the calm before the storm where it was like, oh, things are suddenly changing. And it was after that when every month I'd be going up like 50,000 followers.
Wow.
Which was massive. So by the end of the year, I was on 150,000. And then by May of next year, I was almost on 400,000.
Yes.
And I actually went on a trip to America at the start of May. And when I got back, I was like, I'm not going back to uni.
That's sort of been the point in your mind where it's like actually.
It was making enough to consider it a full-time job. And I was just like, I don't enjoy uni. Because the problem was with uni is because it was my last choice.
Yes.
It was more for people who... Well, it was for people who they expected not to get good grades.
I understand.
And, like, the story acts as if I got bad grades, but it was just my poor choice in uni because I got 3 A's.
So you did all right at school, because some of the other kind of in social media circles or doing content creation, they sort of fell into it by chance because they had failed everything else, and then they sort of kind of jumped
a lot of them don't even bother with college.
No.
But so I got 3 A's. Going to Hull University, it was a lot higher qualifications than everyone else on the course.
I understand.
So I just didn't enjoy the course because it was more of a catch up.
Yes.
Especially first year they kind of like ease you into it. But even then it was like, especially the maths was the same further math that I'd done in GCSE because I did an extra course for it.
Yes.
So I was just, in every math lecture, I was just sit there like, I'm not enjoying this. I'd go to tests, and it sounds like I'm bragging now, but I'd go to tests, and I'd do so well in tests without even revising. It was just like, what am I doing here? I'm not really learning. I'm just doing the work.
You're sort of existing, going to school. I can relate.
I also think the biggest regret is I think I should have chosen a course that like I'd more want to enjoy than one for. That's the biggest advice I give everyone.
Oh really? So what was the course you were meant to be going on?
No, it was physics.
Oh, it was physics.
I mean, that's the one I'd like chosen back when I was doing GCSE. I was like, right, I'm good at physics. I'll just pursue it.
Yes.
But what I tell people is don't just do what you're like really good at. Do what you want to enjoy.
I can follow. I remember when I was at school, a lot of people would choose something because it was just kind of easy. So whether that was whatever they were, if that was doing PE or sports or something, it's easy. We don't get much homework or something. Which is, well, I guess it's good doing. I like that. I like that saying. Don't do something easy. Do something you'd enjoy.
Yeah.
I like that. So in doing things you enjoy. Now you obviously kind of you dropped out of uni, or did you just never go?
I dropped out of uni.
Oh, so you were going to uni.
I mean, I was missing a lot of lectures anyway. Like I really didn't want to be at them. But yeah, it was only a couple months before the first year ended. But I didn't even bother with the test. I just dropped out. I still have to pay for it annoyingly. But
you still had to pay. How much does it cost to go to? It's about $9,000 or.
It's $9,000 for tuition, and then there was like a $3,500 maintenance fund as well, which I have to pay back.
So 12,000. But would you say money well spent? As in, it was worth
the experience.
Got out of it.
It was worth telling me to get out. Yeah,
never
do it again. To be honest, I think if TikTok failed, my two options would be either like try and get into the industry another way, like maybe a PR agency or something, because I have a lot of contacts. And
yes,
I could like.
And that's industry of. Not physics, but industry of film industry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the other option would be going back to uni, but doing a different course.
I understand.
I'd probably do something related to either film or kind of video games,
media, or media. So
even journalism, if I had to.
Oh, okay. Yes. Because you seem quite popular with what the content you'll post now is kind of film related or movie related. Have you done any junkets or cast interviews? Or
I haven't. I'm still yet to do a junket. I've been offered a few.
Yes.
I mean, I was supposed to do one for. I mean, I'm going to name shows and you won't know any of them. But there was a Marvel show last May.
Yes.
So around the same month I left uni.
The same month you left.
Same month I left uni. In fact, it was like days after I got uni. I got an email and it was like. Or maybe it was before I left uni. I don't know.
Okay.
But I got an email. It was like, "Do you want to interview the cast of Ms. Marvel, which is a Marvel show?" And I was like, "Oh my god!"
Know that
for the first thing, I was like, "Oh, I'm so excited for this." But I went to it, and it was a meal, and I didn't really get to speak to the cast anyway.
I see.
But then apart from that, I haven't been offered much. I've been offered Lightyear. Do you know Lightyear?
Like Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear.
Yes.
I got offered the.
Was he in Toy Story?
Yeah.
Yes. I used to watch that when I was at school when we were meant to be doing something more productive, but instead it was Buzz Lightyear and Toy Story, and Woody was in Toy.
Yeah.
Yes. knowledge on movies spares no limitations.
No, I think you've seen like 8, and I respect you for it.
No, I think 9. I liked it the first time I went to the theatre as an adult. It was with Henry at the BFI red carpet world premiere for something, and it was just like, oh, does this always happen when you go to the cinema?
They welcome you with open arms.
Welcome you with open arms with a red carpet with the world's paparazzi.
Paparazzi is scary.
Do you find it scary, or?
I mean, it depends on, like, most of the time it's just one photographer. One photographer's fine. Like, but then my first one was Ms. Marvel, and that was like when it's the full row of like 30 odd photographers, and they're all like shouting your name and
Joe, over here, Joe.
Like,
or they shout 8Z Joe or Hertz Joe.
But yeah, it's all the flashing and scary. It just makes you feel nervous, really. You have to pose for all these pictures.
Yes, okay. Because would you say, where did you grow up? It was Hull? You
been in Hull? In fact, I was on the same street for about 13, 14 years of my life, and it was next to my primary school and my secondary school and my college.
Oh wow! So you literally, was it just a case of going from
just
home?
Walking.
Yeah,
I'd walk my brother to school. I'd walk to my friend's house. I'd walk to school all in the space of like 30 minutes.
Okay, everything was kind of very close. And had you really left? What I really find fascinating about you, Joe, is because you kind of, nothing's wrong with Hull, but
spit out, man, spit out.
but it's sort of you kind of grew up in Hull, kind of like a very ordinary beginning walk to school thing, and then all of a sudden you find yourself world premieres, red carpet events, making money off social media, and everything like that. It's just how do you kind of go about like that journey? Is just incredible, and I think really inspiring.
Thank you.
You're welcome, because it's almost kind of so organic. You just started making videos because you were bored, and then it took off.
You're making me blush.
But it's true. I wouldn't have you on here, Joe, if if there wasn't kind of like a genuine, and that's what I find so incredible, kind of with what you do. And is there kind of any moments where you think, actually, what is that mindset? Is it when you're like at a red carpet event or something? And it's
even
I'm Joe from Hull.
Literally, this happened to me yesterday when I was on the bus home, because I was in London yesterday. Can't remember what for.
Yeah, but the amount of travelling you do to and from London.
I saw another Marvel film last night.
Yes, Miss Marvel.
The Marvels.
Don't
get confused.
No.
There's so many different nouns and
the different things. I was busy on people's Instagram photos going, "You're the Marvels," but I thought you were the Marvel, and it was just sliding into everyone's DMs.
But I got back home and I was on the bus, and it is just weird. Bus time and train time is like sort of reflection time.
Yes.
I just sort of think like how weird it is to like. I was just in London getting my photo taken for something, and now I'm back here, and it's like, damn. I think it's when something changes is when you realise like what's happened. Really,
it happens, and I don't know if you find it as well. It's kind of whether you're in London or you're at these events, or if I'm travelling around the world or doing whatever I'm doing, and I just find it weird. And I think a little bit sad. At times, it's sort of you do all of these things, and you walk into the local shop, and it's the same person on the counter. It's like the world just carries on, but you're having this fantastic experience doing whatever you're doing, and I don't know. Do you find that kind of? Do you ever think about it like that, or where I'm sort of kind of going is you're living such a fantastic life at all the events in London, but then at the same time, there's so many people just kind of doing this. I say an ordinary job. There's nothing wrong with that, but they're just sort of kind of doing the same thing every day.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I've always thought about. Like, if TikTok was to fail, is that I always see myself if I don't go back to uni, would I just get a corner shop job and just
yes? Have you ever thought? What would you do, or would there be a backup plan?
I said I'd go uni, but like overall, there isn't really I don't really see myself anywhere else but this.
No.
I try and maintain what I have now as much as possible.
And growing it where you can. Because talk about that time when you were going from 50,000. What was it? You hit 10,000.
I hit
then
50,000.
50,000.
100,000, 150,000.
How were you achieving?
It was mainly.
Is there a secret?
Is there a secret? The secret was, I was a learner and I was posting like that. Do you know what my record for most videos posted in a day is?
So when you say posted, are you creating the video or you just simply
all of them were created in that day and posted?
No.
But, and it was by day I mean like from midnight to midnight.
Midnight to midnight. So
just spitball numbers.
What happened to your 7 hours sleep, Joe? Or
we don't sleep is for the week.
The sleep is for the week. Okay.
Those were in like the hot. That was when I was like, because at that point I was enjoying making the videos as well.
Yes.
Now because it is more of a job. When you do things that are fun and they become a job, you sort of like
you're making money off what you enjoy.
But then you're like slightly don't enjoy it as much.
I understand.
I mean, I was having that phase for the past couple of months, but I mean, recently I've been like enjoying making it again.
Okay.
Because I've changed up the way I make them. Because I see, it's wild how much it changes over a course of time. Because back then the craze was 7-second videos. If a video was 7 seconds.
Did you ever do Vine?
Oh, I watch Vine all the time.
Oh, I used to like it when I used to snippet all the Vine videos together. So it went from 7 seconds to like a 1 minute long.
See, I never even had Vine. I would just watch the YouTube compilations.
Like, ultimate 5 minutes of Vine compilation
literally
clips.
I'd see every single one. I'd come home, put in YouTube, watch it,
and it was just probably
corrupted my mind with too many references.
Or maybe it didn't corrupt it, inspired you to become
to be honest, I feel like every sort of content created video that you've watched does inspire you to make the next one. Everything's inspired by something.
Yes, I
to
understand.
exist.
There's sort of almost. I once heard someone say there's nothing is really original. Everything's sort of always kind of an idea that's sort of been combined with another idea or a new approach to doing something new, and then stemming from that. But you didn't actually reveal the number of
in one day.
In one day,
it was something like 45.
45
in one day. Like these aren't like long scripted videos. These are like short 7 seconds, and it was mainly movie news,
pointing videos. Or
everyone says the pointing thing.
Yeah, you're like renowned for Joe's pointy. Right. You like started that trend.
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
The thing. People say I'm the pointing guy when I'm not. Andrew was the pointing guy.
Who? Andrew
Visuals.
Oh, Andrew Visuals. Yes,
Andrew was the pointing guy.
Yes.
I was just the text. I just had like an image above my head and text, but I never like pointed at it.
Like an image.
So it would be like
here.
Yeah, it would be like an image, like a image from a movie or something above your head, and then just like text under it. Because I started with an Android.
Yes, the Android Club,
which are awful for content creation because they have no camera compatibility with any app, and it makes the camera quality so bad. So the second I actually started making money from TikTok, I was like, right, getting an iPhone.
Okay.
So I did that. Actually, that was a gamble as well because I put that on like a month payment
plan.
Credit. Yeah.
Oh,
so if TikTok was to just disappear like that, because obviously it was uncertain when it started out.
Yes.
Then I wouldn't be able to pay for it.
And yes, because you didn't have any other sources of income or forms of income.
I've actually I've never had an official part-time job.
Okay.
I've done my granddad has his own business and stuff, and I've done do I call it engineering work? I've made products for him before.
You made products.
And I've also sold products for him before online, like shipping and stuff.
What sort of products?
He basically used me as a drop shipper almost.
You're a drop shipper?
He does like a the extension plugs you can take to other countries.
Yes.
He does them.
That's genius. So if you were going to Europe or somewhere
granddad,
I need an American 2-pin to 3-pin.
When we went to Mallorca, I think I brought his.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he does them all for like Australia and anywhere in Europe. And I think America as well.
That's it. And doing what you've done through content creation or traveling, has that allowed much travel overseas, or have you done any events overseas, or?
Events wise, I mean, Paris was overseas. We did Disneyland Paris, which was a good one.
Yes. Well, with Paris, was that where the iconic video of you all... It was
Dancing in the hotel room.
Dancing in the hotel... And you were all like holding... What was it? Like mobile phone lights or something?
All the flashlights, yeah.
With flashlights and everyone...
That was good fun. I think I was a bit drunk doing that, but...
Yes.
That was really good.
And didn't that video see like a resurgence recently?
It did, because, I mean, my video did decent on TikTok, and I posted it on Instagram. It didn't do that well on Instagram, but then recently it went viral in India, and that's because TikTok's banned in India, so they use Instagram Reels instead.
Oh, I didn't realise.
Yeah,
so there's no TikTok in India.
TikTok in India, so they use Instagram Reels to basically get the same content.
Yes.
So for some reason, a year after it's made, it blows up in India, and then suddenly they're using it for all their like memes. They're using it on like football memes and stuff, and I can't remember how we found it. It just like popped up on one of our feeds, like, hang on, it's like, this is us dancing to their music. It was like such a weird experience.
Had they used the same music, or had they changed the music?
They changed the music. I can't remember what song. The hashtags were like Punji Dance or something. I don't know what it stood for, but. Yeah, but it was a really good song as well, and it like they got the beat drops and everything. It was awesome.
Oh, they'd got it. Okay, so it actually went well with the dance moves.
Yeah, somehow they even like they slowed it down and sped it up at parts as well. They like put serious editing into it.
Okay, they'd put kind of time and resources and everything. And did that kind of, did you end up on any trips to India or?
I wish it would be funny. Like we've always discussed it, like, because it did seem like quite a big thing. If we went to India, would some of them actually go like, "You're the guys from the
You're that
Instagram guy"? That would be weird. A weird experience.
So you've done Disneyland.
And
you touched on New York, or
I did. I did New York for Amazon show.
Yes.
But I wasn't invited. I got my travel paid for by my management, and then I just kind of tagged along.
Okay.
But I've been New York twice. Once to see friends. No, not New York twice. America twice. Once to see friends. Once for that event.
Yes.
Then Paris, and then obviously we've done Cyprus and Mallorca.
Cyprus and Mallorca. That'd be yes. Well, Cyprus and Mallorca were quite the fun, because when we were all in Mallorca, we met up with
Jose. Papa Jose.
That was a great trip.
I love that, actually.
That was a good trip. And with your New York trip, when you were meeting friends, were they TikTok?
They were all I'm gonna dive deeper into this.
Oh,
so at the end of 2021 and the start of 2022, I wanted me and 3 of my online friends who all lived in America.
Yes.
Maya, Jalen, and Tristan. Love you.
Shout out.
We wanted to do like a Fortnite collaboration between a bunch of other TikTokers.
Yes.
So we set up a Discord server. I don't know if you've used Discord before.
No.
It's like a community building thing mainly for like people who play video games and stuff online.
I understand.
So we set one of them up, and we got a bunch of TikTokers in.
Yes.
And we did like a massive live stream on like, I think it was like January 13th or something, and we played Fortnite. I think it was mainly to do with like we did like a little tournament thing, and then played a Squid Game creative map. These are just words like they're going through.
That's brilliant. You're in the zone. So you just, what's this load of TikTok people? You just invite like fellow content creators.
I knew, I've spoken to a few of them, and I knew of some of them. Some of them I just met there and then.
Yes.
But after that, so we stayed up like 8 hours, and then we were like, there was a Star Wars show coming out in the morning. I think it was Boba Fett, and we were all, should we watch it together? Yeah, sure. So like I pulled an all-nighter as well. I was up until like 9 a.m.
Yes.
And since then, like, we'd all come back into the Discord. It was only supposed to be a one-time thing. We all came back into the Discord. We were playing games together.
Yes.
And that pretty much continued for ages. Like, we were watching shows together all night, and I was not getting much sleep in those times. That January to May, I was staying up, especially to watch the shows, because they'd come out 8 a.m. our time. I'd stay up to watch it with them. and I was watching. That's when I first started watching anime as well.
Yes.
I started watching Attack on Titan with them because they really wanted me to get into it, and I was just staying up so late every night, but that was while I was still in uni as well. So I was staying up till like 8 a.m. on uni days.
And then go to uni.
I mean, I think there was only maybe 1 or 2 times where I didn't sleep and just went straight to uni. But half the time in uni during that period, I was like so tired.
Yes, I can't believe how you can even function with...
I mean, thinking about it now and what I do now and how I struggle now with time, I don't understand how back then I was able to post at least 10 videos a day, stay up all night and do uni some days.
Do uni and play in the Discord server.
I can't fathom it. Yes. I was just spending so much time doing all sorts of stuff, whereas now I'm just like, I'll make 3 videos. I'm like, oh, I'm done.
That makes sure. So you're probably catching up with all the sleep you didn't have as a teenager. Are you still a teenager? Or how old?
I'm 20.
You're 20.
I'm 20.
So
I mean, I don't know.
You're wow. 2003. 2003. Wow. Okay.
Almost 21.
Almost 21.
5 months to go.
5 months.
4 months to go.
4 months. Yes. Wow. Yes. Incredible, Joey.
But I didn't even get to the point of my story.
No. I was just loving the journey.
But so because we were all friends, we were like, oh, we should meet up. And obviously, I mean, it's a lot easier for them to meet up because they're all American. But
yes.
I was like, yeah, I'll meet up. I mean, I had the money for it, so I was like, yeah, I'll book flights. We all went to LA. My friend Soups, just punched the microphone. My friend Soups did like an event for a Marvel film. We all went there.
Soups is a fellow content creator.
He's a bigger American one. He has like 3 million TikTok followers, I think.
Oh wow. Okay.
So we all went to his it was like a movie screening, an early one, and pretty much everyone in the audience were fans. So it was lovely meeting all them. Like, I mean, that was like the surreal experience for me, where I realized like my position and where I kind of was in the space.
Yes.
Because I'd never met a fan before till this point.
Because you'd always be making the videos.
I mean, I'd never been to London by myself. I'd never. I wasn't really going out much. My friends were all in uni, so I didn't really have anyone in Hull. The only time I'd go out was to walk the dogs or go with my family somewhere.
Yes.
So I was pretty much at home the entire time, and then going from that to end of April, traveling down by myself to London.
That was April
2022.
2022. Yes.
Right at the end, went to London to see Andrew.
Yes.
Met Andrew for the first time, and then we both flew together to America, where I met everyone at LAX.
Yes.
And a bunch of us sharing a hotel room. We all like that. I mean, that entire week we were doing we hit Disney, we hit Universal. They showed me around LA. I couldn't drink at the time, luckily.
Oh yeah, because in America you
21.
21. If you went to America now, you still can't drink. Still can't drink.
There's so much I would want to let out now, but let me stay on this track.
That's fine.
My point was, so going to the event, it was so surreal because obviously first fan experience.
Yes.
And it was when we were late to the event and everyone was queuing outside. We were pulled up to the cinema, and there were on these massive steps to get up. It was really high up. And as I'm going up these steps, people shouting my name, and I'm like,
Joe,
what is
Joe.
this? What is this? But yeah, they were all so lovely. I mean, some of them, people asked me for signatures as well, and at the time I was like,
first time in America, first time with fans, first time doing autographs.
Autographs. I didn't even know what to put. I was like, right. I did my username in just block text. I didn't have anything up. I mean, I hardly even knew how to do my own signature.
Yes.
Let alone a social media one.
I thought you were about to say you almost didn't know how to spell your own name, and I thought it's Joe. I'd be
very difficult.
Very difficult.
But yeah, that was an amazing experience, and it was so nice meeting everyone there.
That's incredible. And how did you find it actually? Kind of that you met Andrew, you flew to America, and you're meeting people you sort of know via the internet, but for the first time in person in America. What's that mindset? How's that feeling?
I still don't even know. I think I was just running off pure adrenaline of to me, it just felt normal, really. I mean, I'd been speaking to him for like 4 months or so
Yes.
online, and it kind of just felt like we all knew each other. I mean, I guess because like there were so many of us and we were all meeting for the first time, it just felt so natural.
So the others hadn't met the Americans.
Some of them had, but most of them, I mean, they were from all over. Some there were like 3 or 4 from LA.
Yes.
One was from Florida, one was from Virginia. All over the place, really.
That's fantastic. So you kind of all meet up and you're all hitting those different places. And have you caught up with any of them since, or have you been back out to them?
I've not. Oh, I mean, actually, I haven't seen it. I haven't met any of them in person since.
Oh.
Which is a shame.
Yes.
There was a trip the other month, but I had a couple of events here which I had to be for.
Yes.
Otherwise, I would have gone. And it's expensive. That was to Florida.
Florida. Okay.
I've only just realised that you can fly New York and then New York to Florida, and it's a lot cheaper than just doing direct.
I understand. I've just booked flights to New York, and they were about £350 return.
Oh, really? Yeah, New York. Yeah.
New York, and then you probably
direct to Florida is like 600, and it's like because that's about as much. That's as much as my return was for LA.
Yes.
Last year it was like 690.
690. Yes, it adds up. And passing that message, or kind of doing what you've done, would you have a message you'd pass across to anyone in kind of that space, or looking at
trying to like meet up with
people or content creation, or that side of?
I mean, it's a risky thing, really, because obviously there's so many stories about like meeting people online and like they're not turning out who to be. I think it's easier if like they have a social presence.
Yes.
Because obviously they're real. You can see that they're real. And as long as like I feel like there has to be multiple of you. I think doing a one-on-one meet online I wouldn't do, but it's personal preference at your own risk, really.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you know them, then you know them.
Then you're fine. No, I like that, and wow. That's just an incredible story of Joe going from Hull
to
TikTok to America.
It's very overwhelming when you look at it, like especially after COVID, with everyone being at home for like almost 2 years, and then I was at home because of uni as well, and I didn't like uni, and then suddenly going London, going New York, going LA, coming back, and it was around that time as well. I got back, and that's when I started getting invites to events as well. So it was literally, I didn't even get a week at home until I was back in London. And then I was pretty much in London from May to like August without any gaps. And that's about the time I met you as well. I think that was like maybe August, September.
Must have been May, June, July.
Because it was Peaky Blinders, wasn't it?
Peaky Blinders was when
I think it was August.
First.
Or maybe July. So around that time.
It was around that.
But I mean, we didn't even have like, I don't think we interacted much when we met at Peaky.
No, it was like Peaky was the first time. That was my first time sort of in that.
Yeah.
It was like, I went along, we'd finished Beauty and the Geek, and Henry really kindly just offered me a +1. And I went along, and it was like, wow, this is a world I've never experienced before. And I just fell in love. So it's sort of just kind of meeting people. I think people were aware about Beauty and the Geek, but they didn't know kind of the outcome or it being aired yet or anything. And it was just, I just remember it was just really cool, just kind of navigating that world. And I think most of the time at Peaky, most time I spent at Peaky was talking to Andrew, because I just found it fascinating that someone could even 2 million subscribe or followers or something. It was just, I was just mind blown at. I was just meeting really cool people. I just absolutely loved it.
See, I wish I could remember more from that event, but that was like, I think that was like the drunkest I've ever been in my life. It was like, especially because I didn't drink. Obviously through COVID because I couldn't go to any bars. So, and that was when I turned 18.
Yes.
So coming down to London was like the first time I was drinking, and I didn't know my limits. So that night,
you found those limits.
I think that night was like the first. I think that because normally I was with Andrew,
yes,
who doesn't drink.
Yes.
So we were very much like, once an event's finished, we're like, okay, we'll we'll go to like McDonald's or something. We'll chill in our hotel room or whatever. Watch a show maybe. And we used to watch a lot of shows actually. But then at Peaky, there was a lot of us, and we did go out for drinks at that bar. And I was just like, I just drank too much. I just drank a bit too much, and I was that's one of the only. There's only been 2 times where I've been sick drunk. The other one was my birthday, but I feel like you can excuse that. You remember that quite well. Because we were sharing a bed that day, weren't we?
We were sharing a bed, Joe. Yes, just throw that out there on the for the cameras and the microphones. So I like that. So it sounds kind of like moving forward. You've worked out your alcohol limits. That's good. Found out that uni's not for you. What does the next year? Any great plans for the next year, Joe?
Ooh. I do think I want to start doing interviews with the cast.
Yep.
I just need. I feel like I now have the confidence to do that, whereas before I didn't. Because it is, especially when it's like actors that you've looked up to for a while. It can be intimidating.
Yes.
But I feel like now, developing the PR skills that I have over last year, I could hold a conversation they only give you 5 minutes.
You should be able to.
You just ask them a couple of questions, they answer your questions, you smile at them and go,
what's their favourite colour?
Why am I here? How am I here?
Why are you here? But no, that's...
but apart from that, don't know, I just want to keep it going, keep it as a job, really. So did Henry bring you to that? I brought Mert and Henry.
You brought Mert, that was it. So we met each other at the Peaky Blinders.
Didn't speak much, but then we met at Bros.
It was Bros. And remind me, Bros was, oh my word, the memories of Bros is coming back to me.
It's all flooded in. I've just seen it pop up in your head.
It has.
That was, so we went to the Queer Museum, which was an amazing experience.
Bros was the first... Now, let me get my words right. The first gay rom-com?
I think, I maybe like big gay rom-com. That sounded weird to say.
Rom-com, yes.
But like big production-wise, I think like mainstream. So we did the Queer Museum. And then we went to
that underground bar
where we met the big hairy growler,
Dave the Bear. And Ophelia.
Payne. Is it Payne?
Payne. That yes. And just that night, Joe.
It was just like we were eating very nice food.
We had the canapes.
We had there were canapes. There was champagne everywhere. They were just throwing at us.
It was ridiculous. There was like 10 of us, and it was like $2,000 on the bar tab for us to spend. And I wasn't drinking. I wasn't. I had to be somewhere.
It was just like, it started. We were all just sat watching Ophelia and
Dave the Bear. I think Dave
singing. Did Dave sing a bit? I feel like he did. I think he was like.
I think he did. I think he just got more and more naked. And I think it was. I think actually our friendship is
built around Dave being naked.
Dave the Bear being naked and Ophelia
just
Payne
enjoying that experience.
Absolutely, yes. And I think kind of from that was like we did Bros, and then it sort of just kind of carried on. We did the trip overseas. We've done 2 trips overseas.
We've done plenty of films. We did Cocaine Bear.
We did. It's probably the greatest film. The Boogeyman. I don't know. I just love. I'm always so grateful for when I get that message from you. It's like, Martin, do you want to come? The Boogeyman, Indiana Jones, Willow, Spider-Verse.
You loved that film, didn't you?
I loved Spider-Verse. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But I think
Trolls was one of my favourite ones.
Trolls. I never thought I'd be in a ball pit with Ryland Clark. I just didn't think that would...
My favourite part is, I have a video, I don't think you've seen it, but it's you in one of those rubber bands, and you're stood next to Alice's mum, and you're just like dancing, and she's just like looking at you like...
I think that night, that event was just kind of built about Martin going on side quests.
Yeah. You go around pretty much talking to everyone. I feel like you do that a lot, though. You're very good at, like...
I just like to jump in and out of conversations. It's like, I think you should meet this person. And then it's like, And then I sort of introduce it, and then they get in deep conversation. It's like, oh, I've got no one to talk to. Fine, I'll find. And then I just do it over and over again, and kind of before you know it, you're in a ball pit with Ryland Clark, or dancing with Alice's mum, with a rubber flotation device around you,
and a bubble machine,
and the bubble machine,
which,
it was just great.
It was marvellous, you might say.
It was, one could say, it was marvellous. Joe, do you want to hear a funny little quick story about Dave the Bear?
I'd love to hear a funny little quick story about Dave the Bear.
I met a girl.
Whoa.
I know, a rarity. I met a girl when I was backpacking around Australia. And we kind of came back from Australia. It turned out she lived 10 minutes down the road from each other. We lived 10 minutes down the road from each other. And I thought, what do I buy a girl who I'm dating for Christmas? And that evening I saw on my Instagram, Dave the Bear was selling signed calendars for £10. And it was like, £10 is a lot of money. But it is a half-naked calendar signed personally by Dave the Bear himself.
So your first thought was,
I'm going to buy it and give it to this girl, which I did do, and I never saw her again.
So safe to assume that wasn't the best idea?
I think in hindsight it was one of my greatest ideas I've ever had, because it led on to new horizons. That sounds hard. That sounds really harsh. No, I think that's like a good test. Is sort of if a girl doesn't kind of call you back for another date after you've given her a Dave the Bear calendar,
she's not the one.
She's not the one. I like that, Joe. Well, thank you very much for coming on, Joe, and sharing your
Appreciate it. It's been fun.
Your story. No, it's been
really
good fun.
fun.
I've loved this chat. It's been brilliant. Well, thank you, Joe, and.
Do you not have like a end slogan or catchphrase?
No. Shall we? What should my end catchphrase be, Joe? On that note, marvellous.
I'm not the best at coming up with that. Marvellous.
Marvellous. On that marvellous note, thank you very much for coming on, Joe.
Thank you for having me, man.
You're welcome, Joe. It was marvellous.
Just throw that out as much as possible.